Hey everybody, it's me, Joe, here for the HCA LongBox. Tessa's running on assignment. You know how hard she works, so she'll be here in just a bit. Today we are going to be going over this cool interview that we did with Young Yelena, Violet McGraw. She's the little girl, the little blonde-headed, curly-headed girl who was in the very beginning of Black Widow. She's so cute. She's so adorable. By the way, I'm Joe, Jonita Davis. You can find me at Black Cape Media and Jonita L. Davis anywhere, everywhere, all over social media. So let's talk about this Black Widow. I think we are clear for spoilers now. So Tessa and I have been talking about Black Widow for weeks. We are clear for spoilers today. We will be talking about spoilers when she gets here, and it's gonna be glorious. Trust me. And so, but to start off, I think we are going to take a look at this interview that we did with Young Yelena. She's so adorable, y'all. She's so adorable. She's so professional, and she's so just everything. Get this. Sorry. You know how YouTube is with the commercials getting started up. So we're gonna talk about that. We're definitely gonna dive into Loki. I know you guys have seen all the Easter eggs, all the everythings, and talked about it till it's probably dead already, but you haven't talked about it with us. So we will get there. And then Fear Street 2 dropped. We'll get to talk about that. And then this What If trailer, which I'm not a Marvel person. So but I like this idea. So I've got a lot of questions for Tessa when she gets back. Maybe you do too. I don't know. Who knows? So I really love the idea of this, of them opening up the multiverse and this what if kind of switching things up a bit. Potentially, maybe. Who knows? And then like Loki, watching it now with all the little bits and pieces that we're seeing scattered throughout the episode, I think that it too is kind of opening us up to this idea as well. So we'll see. Let's kind of jump into things and get to this interview that Tess and I did with Young Yelena, Violet McGraw. She's adorable. She's adorable. Hey, Trailer Gamer. Tessa is on assignment. See, if you would have got here on time. That's what you get for being tardy. Sorry. And then just kidding. Tessa is on assignment. So she's like running late. Well, not running late. She's running and working and grinding the way she does. So she'll be here in just a few minutes. And yeah, Young Yelena, she's adorable. You know what? I want a movie with the family. You know, I'll share this later. I'll wait till after we watch the video to share. But I really want you guys to watch this. I think you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it. Let's see, be sure to share the audio. Okay. Of course, we gotta sit through a YouTube commercial. Just
this
be patient.
oceanside Virgo is about to become the backdrop for an unforgettable vacation memory.
Hey everyone! Today I have a really exciting interview for you. Violet McGraw, who plays Young Yelena in Black Widow, was able to take a few minutes to chat with me and my HCA LongBox co-host, Jonita Davis. We got to talk to her about being in a Marvel movie, and also, crazy fun fact, her sister actually plays Young Hope in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I mean, how cool is that? So this family is just their Marvel legacy now, right? So we got to talk about that, got to talk to her about comic books, got to talk to her about all the scary stuff because she's in like a ton of scary movies. And I know I would be freaked out if you guys have seen my trailer reactions to scary movies. You know that this is a fact. But yeah, we loved our time talking with Violet. So let's go ahead and check it out. But before we do, if this is your first time here, I would love it if you would take 1 second and hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's talk to Violet. Hey, Tessa from Mama's here. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. So good in this movie. You are so good in Black Widow. I mean, you're good in everything. But you are so good in Black Widow. We love you.
I actually haven't seen it yet.
You haven't?
You haven't.
Well, you're amazing in it. Trust us. But I honestly, the first 15 minutes, which is like all you, is my favorite part of the movie. So there you go.
I know. I want them to. I want them to make a movie of you guys, and from the beginning, I wanted more of that.
Now, did you get to hang out with like Florence Pugh at all to kind of like get her vibes? You did?
Yeah, we talked about Yelena, and I loved meeting Florence. She was so nice, and yeah, we worked on some mannerisms together and talked about Yelena. And Florence is one of those people, when you meet them and spend time with them, you instantly feel like everything just got better. And she's so humble, and she's so nice, and we both knew it was just the coolest thing to be part of a Marvel movie.
Yeah, how did it feel when you got the call and you were told you're going to be in a Marvel movie? How did that feel?
Screamed and I cried, and because I love Marvel movies, and our whole family loves Marvel movies. And we have this tradition when a Marvel movie, we have to see the Marvel movie in theaters when it comes out. And I was especially excited to share the news with my older sister Maddie. She played Young Hope and Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I know she was going to be super excited.
Oh, that's so cool. Now you have a really important line. I'm not going to ruin it since you haven't seen the movie, but when you see the movie, you'll see Florence repeat the line you repeated. That just makes me cry like a baby every time I see it. So pay attention for that. I love how Marvel connects stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I love it.
So I hope you love the movie. When are you going to get to see it?
I'm actually going to see it in theaters here because I'm in New Zealand right now. So I'm going to actually see it in the theater here. On Saturday.
Oh, well, I hope you love it. I know you will. It's so much fun.
Yeah. So you're filming right now another movie, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
I was reading a little bit about it, and it's about a doll girl.
Yeah. It's a Blumhouse film called Megan, and it's about my Aunt Gemma, played by Ashley Williams, gets custody of me unexpectedly, and Gemma then uses this AI to create this lifelike doll to be my best friend, since she can be confused sometimes working, and let's just say there are some conflicts.
I mean, do you ever get scared working? Because you did Haunting on Hill House, and you did Dr. Sleep. Do you ever get scared working on these sets and with these projects at all?
Oh, because you see like the cameras in the back, and you can just redo this take a lot. So I don't really get scared, because also the actors that can be like scary are like so nice in real life.
Now, do you get to watch your stuff, like the scary stuff? Do your parents let you watch it?
I only get to watch my parts, leaving my parts.
And they're like, fast forward, okay.
Because I'll tell you, some of that stuff scares me. So I'm like, I can't believe you're in it. That's gotta be crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's nuts. I wouldn't be able to do it. It would scare me. I know it would. Even though I see the cameras, I know it would freak me out.
Because also seeing all the people like in the back, all the stuff, and all the equipment. And also, they haven't added any of those special effects or music yet, so it's not that scary.
That's true. Music makes stuff scary.
Music makes it scary.
That's true. Music does. Oh man, well, I just think you're so great in everything that you're doing. But I'm really excited for you to see Black Widow since you haven't seen it. Now, have you ever read any comic books at all?
No, I have, but my brothers do. They read comic books.
So they're probably even more excited for you.
Yeah, they're definitely more excited.
Did they try to help you with your role? You know, like brothers kind of do sometimes.
Not really, but my sister Maddie, when she was in a Marvel movie, she gave me some advice and tips. Like, just always just take direction, and just be yourself, and just do your best. Do your best.
Well, that's so nice. That is nice, and that's good advice.
That is good.
Yeah.
Now, would you be down for making like a full background story for Yelena, like being young Yelena in a full movie? Because I'd love to see
That'd be so fun. I got to do that. I would just freak out, because I wanted to be like in a Marvel, like be a superhero, but like being just in a Marvel movie was just awesome. And yeah, I would definitely make a movie.
I would love to see it because I'm telling you, that first 15 minutes was one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. It's so good. It just does a great job of opening up the movie and showing that bond that Natasha and Yelena have. So, now what was it like working with the girl who played young Natasha?
Working with Ever, she was just, it was so easy. She was fun and she was always professional on set. And I think it helped that we both had siblings, so it was easy to fall into a sisterly relationship.
That's good. Did you guys just have a lot of just do crazy stuff on set, like have a lot of fun?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun because we stayed in the same hotel. So we go swimming and then we talk and we go for like smoothies and it was so fun. I loved working with them.
That's so fun. Now it was filmed like quite a while ago, right?
Yeah, yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah, that's a long time. So it's finally out. People finally are gonna get to see it. It's already getting the critics are loving it. So I'm just so, I know I keep repeating myself. I'm so excited for you to see it. I'm I wish I could be there and watch you see it. It was so good.
I'm happy that you guys.
Okay. So, okay. Apologies for the technical difficulties here. So I'm going to put the link to the interview in the chat so you guys can go over there and see it. Trailer Gamer, he's just ahead of me. Here is the link right here. So go ahead and watch. Just dropped at Mommy's Geeky. This was kind of our little test run to see, my little test run, producing. Usually Tessa does all the technical behind the curtain stuff for our show to make it look like amazing. So I really think that, this movie, starting off with, Black Widow, starting off with the young girls, like Violet, and Ever, her co-host. I think that was a really good start. But I go back to, again, what someone also echoed in the comments, that we really need, a movie of just the kids, the young kids. I really think that. I really would love to see that. I love her enthusiasm too. Did you guys see that she was just vibrating? She was so excited. So yeah, go check that out. So you can hear her responses. I really also adored that, she was just so, not just that she was so vibrant, that she was just so, just in love with her job. She loved everything about it. She loved, she was so in love with even, she is so in love with even, just acting, it seems. So I really love that her enthusiasm. if only, everyone who's in the business had that enthusiasm, I think that, things Hollywood would run a little bit better, maybe, possibly. Who knows? But back to my what I was going to say before. I really would like to see, before we saw the clip, I started to say that I really want to see a movie of just more of the family. I think, see, I was one who, and you guys are probably going to hate me for this, but I'm going to say it. I've watched Black Widow a few times more, and it's still not one of my favorites. It's not, I'm sorry. I think that if I did get a film of just the family, if I got a film of, Young Yelena and Young Natasha, maybe some of their moving around. Natasha spoke about, the place they were before. They moved to Ohio. And I know that Ohio stretch was only like 3 years. What if we had like a little movie about the 3-year span? Starting with when they got there to went to, you got the mom and dad holding down their jobs. Alexi and Melina, you've got them holding down jobs, doing the parenting thing. I want to see them, getting that assignment, that first assignment that says, okay, Alexi, okay, Melina, you two are assassins and spies for Russia, but now you're parents. It's a girl and a girl. You get to raise them. I wonder what that was like. I wonder how they took it. Melina is not the nurturing motherly type we saw later on in the Black Widow. So I think it would have been cool to see how she would have taken, just being saddled with, because that's what it would have felt like, being saddled with 2 kids. And Alexi already talked about how boring it was and how, it was the worst assignment he's ever done and yada, yada, yada. Okay, how did he take being told that he was gonna... I love that. It does sound like The Americans, right? On FX? Oh, okay. So we've got maybe a theory coming up. So, it would be something like The Americans with old, the kids and just them two. Yeah, you've got me thinking now, Dan. You got me thinking. So I think that, this one would follow the girls mostly and be more Stranger Things. More Stranger Things than The Americans, I think. And then maybe have the family, because they flirted with being discovered because they said they moved. I mean, or they were told about the dangers and it hinted that they had moved before. So what was that like? Was there like some, fight where, Alexi ended up, crashing into the front yard or into the living room in full costume, and all of a sudden, okay, we got to get out of here because everybody knows who Dad is now. I don't know. So, yeah. Trailer Gamer. Yes. See, I think so too, because it seems like Marvel has a really good handle on their audience. So I think if they hear enough people saying, hey, we want more of the family during that 3-year period, I think that we will get that, at least a one-off. I mean, if not a film, at least a one-off series. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. Same. Same, House of L Comics. I think that also, if we can't get the younger ones, which I really love, maybe get something with the older kids, because you have to admit these adults, I mean, the adult version of this family was funny. I mean, you have to admit it was funny. You have Alexei fitting into his costume that is 15 million sizes too small. And everybody sitting at the dinner table hearing him force himself into this leather pleather thing. And it's just like a dad who is trying to get into his high school, I don't know, his football uniform or something, his old baseball, his old sports uniform from when he would, used to be the superior athlete when he was younger, and he ain't no more. He's got full on dad bod plus some, and so it's not gonna work. But you can't tell that to dad, right? So you got Alexei trying to sausage his whole body into this like casing, and he's grunting and everything, and Melina's trying to talk to the girls who are angry. It's like parents of teenagers, Yes, like Mr. Incredible trying to get back into the blue suit. It definitely was. It definitely was. And then the girls were just like sullen teenagers. They don't like their parents. They don't want to be there. They're being forced to sit down to the dinner they don't want to be at. I just thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. And I would like to see more of that. My favorite episode, my favorite scene of the entire movie was the scene where you have Alexei and you have Yelena, and they're sitting there, and Yelena is like, she's like, no, you said that the 3 years that are my life, that I see as my life, my family, you said that was the most boring time of your life. No. And she's like really taking him to task for complaining about the job, and while she was a kid and the job was her family, So I really, really love when he starts singing her song. And he gets her to start singing, and she's crying. And she's trying to be mad, but she can't be mad because her dad remembered her favorite song. That was so cute. It was so adorable. I really thought it was adorable. This family better show up later on. I really want to see them later on. I really want to see more of them. I think that they are up to some. I think they're going to be up to some shenanigans, some really great things. I really do. I really think that as well. With Natasha gone, Yelena probably going into the Young Avengers, maybe. Yelena going to avenge her sister. I wonder how the rest of the family's going to play in. So I really love this introduction. Yeah, the mom's just adding food, not stuffing. Yeah, just I really love this introduction. And yeah, to go back to that, it seems like Melina and even Alexei, they kind of fell back into those mom and dad roles, even though there was only like a 3-year span of them being actual parents. When the girls came back, they all just kind of fell into their old roles. That was so adorable. It was so cute. It was so cute. Even the whole where mom and dad are like figuring out, hey, we still like each other, and the girls are like, no, that's gross. It's disgusting. Stop. Don't do that. I love those parts. Absolutely. So I love them more than the rest of the movie. I did. And I want to see more of them. I hope that when like I said, when Yelena has her time to, tell her story, when she's in Young Avengers, or even, if there is a solo something, I hope that the whole family's there, And you know, I kind of want to see Melina mothering the other widows, because I think that's what's going to end up happening. You think so? I think she's going to end up mothering the other widows, because it seems like the other widows, Natasha told them to be free. Yelena told them, you know, they told them to go live your life, do what you want. Buy a vest like Yelena did, the first thing she did when she had free will, which was cute too. The widows, instead of going out and being free, they were all together, and they came looking for, you know, the family. They came looking for Yelena, Natasha, Melina, and Alexei, because they I don't think they know what to do on their own. So I see kind of maybe the family running like this rehab, almost safe house place for ex-widows. You know, because Melina is going to be making the serum, right? So this is just my theory. Again, we have to wait for Tessa the expert to talk about what happens in the comics. But I really see Melina, you know, making the serum, you know, Yelena going around the world, you know, just kind of dousing it on to whatever widows she can find, because you saw the millions of widows, with thousands of widows that he had all around the world. I see that happening. And I also see Melina and Alexei just kind of running a safe house for widows. I think that would be wonderful. I think that's cute. I think that's great. And I think that would be a great little addition to the series, Marvel. Just saying. Now my own little in-house Marvel expert, my son, tells me that what's happening in the movie is kind of takes away from the comics. Oh, and I'm right when I'm getting just what I'm getting to the comics part.
That's
Guess
perfect.
who pops up? Yes.
It's like I knew. Sorry, my interview time was a little late. But yeah, we're going to get, maybe next week we'll talk a little bit about it, but I just got to interview a spoiler person from Black Widow. But anyway, let's get into what we were talking about.
Yeah. So I just did this whole spiel about how I love the family, and I wanted a spinoff of More of the Family.
Yeah.
And then I was just talking about how my son is telling me this movie did not follow the comics because you pop
of the person I just spoke to.
Yes.
Spoiler, everyone. Spoiler. I just spoke with Taskmaster, which was super amazing. She's so nice. We got 5 minutes and it went like that. I'm like, no, I had so many more questions. But she's so sweet. She's played by Olga, and she was so nice. And we talked a little bit about, I asked if she had any pressure in knowing that this was such a difference from the comics, you know? Mm-hmm. And she said she tries not to think about that stuff when she goes into a role, which is good, because I'm like, I would have been like, people are going to hate me. I'm changing this character so much, you know? But she said it's all about the pain of the character, and that she had a lot to play with in that. And she really enjoyed that. And did you know there were several stunt people in that suit? Is that crazy?
I can see that.
She said, because she's like, not one stunt person specializes in all these different moves. And that's the thing about Taskmaster, right? Taskmaster has so many different skills. She's like, we needed several people.
Like Taskmaster master mirrors, you know? So that's why I had this theory that Taskmaster was just a clone.
Yes.
of some of the others. But then it's like, you know, after a couple more watches, I'm like, no, that's not it.
You know what my theory was? You know what I thought? I thought it was going to be Melina for a while.
Yeah.
I thought for sure. But then I thought, is that too obvious? Mm-hmm. Like, are they trying to make you think, oh, she didn't die? She's still, you know? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I really thought it was going to be the mom there. And then it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really like the idea of knowing that there's like several stunt people, because look at all the moves. I mean, you've got not just a bunch of the fight moves. You've got there's a climbing, there's there's all these running, jumping, and the different styles of kicks, and even the different fighting styles. I mean, there's just not one.
Right, there's not one. The Black Panther stuff was cool. I love that scene. I was like, oh, Black Panther. Oh, Black Panther. Because my heart.
I know.
And I know we'll get into the What If trailer a little bit later, but that almost made me cry, the What If trailer, because we heard Chadwick.
I know. So, yeah, I have questions about that one.
We'll get to it in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know how far you got into Black Widow, but
the family stuff, because that's the stuff I like. I didn't like the rest of it. I just.
And you rewatched it, right?
Yes, I did a couple times, and so I didn't. I love the family stuff even more.
Yes,
and hated the rest of it.
I love that dinner. It's not really dinner because they're just drinking, but that scene at the table.
She's heaping food onto plates,
they're not
like
eating,
a mom.
I know. I love that. Like, sit up straight, eat. She's like, I'm not hungry. Right. I love that, the dynamic of it. It feels like a real family, doesn't it?
Yeah, they came back to their original roles, and it's like they only had 3 years, but they came back to what they left off. And I was saying that I want something like a movie or series of that 3 years.
I would love that.
That starts when Alexei and Milena were told that hey, you get a family and it's girls.
Yeah. I know. Because I loved Violet and the girl who played young Natasha. I mean, they are just so great.
They are so cute. They're so adorable. Mm-hmm. And I showed the interview where she's just vibrating, physically vibrating.
She just can't wait to watch the movie. And now at this point, she's seen it, so I kind of want to send an email and be like, "How did she like the movie?" I'm very curious.
Ooh, you should do that.
I think I will. Not that. I mean. We'll just say we're very curious. We have a follow-up question.
Yes.
How did you like it?
Because she was just so excited. I thought she was going to explode. Her little body, And then seeing her on... So I watched it again after we talked to her. Mm-hmm. And so seeing her on screen after talking to her, I think I appreciated her role. Her work a little bit more, because I'm like, she's so little and so professional.
Right, and it was even had to have been 3 years before we even just talked. It was 3 years ago when they filmed. Had to be
right.
So she was even littler. So she's a little more grown up when we spoke to her.
Mm-hmm. A little more poised, and so I just really, I really have an appreciation for the kid. I mean, I really do. So
what part I loved? Did you catch? I caught it. I didn't catch it the first time, I don't think, but when I watched it after speaking with her, when the dad comes home and she's like, I hurt my knee, but it doesn't hurt anymore. It's such a kid, to their dad. This is what happened today, and it doesn't hurt anymore. Don't worry. I thought that part was so cute.
Right. Yes. Well, even just her little, just everything that she was, because she was doing this whole monologue. I didn't realize that she was even doing this. She was doing a whole monologue while they were talking about moving, while Natasha was watching her parents, while all this is going on, she's just chattering away, and
that's such a family thing, though, isn't it?
It is.
You have kids too, and I know the little one will just be like, boop, boop, and we're like, do you see there's a thing going on here?
Yeah, sometimes my 5-year-old has her own conversations going with everybody everybody there, and we're doing something else, and she's talking to all of us, and we just don't realize it, because she just does, and but it's such a kid thing to do, just to do that. So I really love that. And then when they get back together, you have the whole, you don't like my vest thing.
I know. It's such a little sister looking for approval, right?
Yes.
She's like, but it's really cool and it has pockets, and I'm, which I'm like, listen, I feel you with, I get so excited when I have a dress and I'm like, it has pockets. This is the best thing. I feel you, girl.
Yes.
Feel you on the pockets.
Days. A dress with pockets, man. So yeah, when she said pockets, I'm like, oh yeah, right. I got you. And
then you notice, and I listen, apparently I'm the last person in the world to have noticed this, but someone pointed it out to me, that Natasha is wearing the Yelena's vest in Infinity War. So
really?
Yes. So they obviously planned that pockets thing. I'm sure they had already filmed Infinity War, so they put that into Black Widow. But yeah, if you go back and look at the pictures of her from Infinity War on the posters and stuff, she has the dress with, or vest with all the pockets in it. And I'm like, that's
heartbreaking,
isn't it?
It is. It brings you back to what happened to her.
I know.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I just. Oh, and when Yelena gets onto her about the posing.
That's such a sibling thing too, isn't it? And then how about when she does the posing and then she goes, ugh.
Right.
That's so funny. Oh, that's so great. I do love when she goes down and she's like, she actually literally is like flipping hair. She's like, you do this. Like you think everyone's looking at you the whole time.
I was like, we kind of are. It's a movie, but you know.
Right. Exactly. It's so cute.
It's adorable. It's adorable.
Very the family aspect of the whole thing. It really is all about family.
Mm-hmm. It is, and I really like that concentration. So I was like talking about what I want to happen, and we even had Trailer Gamer who says that Marvel, you know, they know what they're doing with the spinoffs and everything. So do you think they'll give us?
I don't know. I would love that. I think it would be a little later on down the road, probably again a little later than we would all want it. Just kind of like with Natasha's solo movie. Just because I know Kevin has plans, unless this is already part of his plan, I could see it even being like a little small 6-episode series on Disney Plus. Like we're getting all these other things. I'd be here for that too.
Yeah. Just a little short, you know. Someone also said that it'd be like The Americans if we got the family the 3 years, but then I'm like concentrating on the kids, so it'd be more Stranger Things.
Yeah, see, I'd be all about that.
6 episodes, and then we had a hint that they had moved before.
Right.
So was that like, you know, did Dad, you know, just kind of, you know, full uniform get up, crash into like the front yard, and you know, we got to move now? What happened? Right.
I mean, if we got like a 6-episode thing and then they could test the waters, and if people really like it, they could continue on. I'd watch it.
Yeah. I mean, and Violet, you have to get her. You have to get Violet.
Know.
You have to get Ever, both the girls, you have to get them back. You have to get them back.
Because they're so good in those roles.
I know
like,
they're probably going to be booked, but you know.
I know, well, especially after this. And Violet does all those scary things. That girl.
I know. Dr. Sleep scared me in parts. And I'm like, how did you...
How are you like in it? But like she
did
say, right? You see all the lights and you see. So I guess, I mean, that's the attitude she's got to have. Or the poor girl would probably have nightmares for the rest of her life after the things that she's done. And now she's doing this doll one. That sounds creepy. Dolls scare me.
This one wasn't. I mean, if for a little kid, you've got all this, you know, going on, and then if. You know, with Taskmaster, seemed just in full get up was like a scary person too.
I would
for
think.
A little kid.
Yeah,
she didn't care. You know,
she's
just like Marvel movie, yay!
I mean, I guess I would be the same way. So I'd be like, put me in it. I don't care. My quote was in the thing, and I freaked out about that in the little.
I saw that.
Epic. It's not even. So they emailed me asking if they could use like a couple different quotes, and that wasn't even one of them. But I'm like, whatever, use whatever. I did say you can use anything, so they changed their mind. Packed with adrenaline is what they asked. Apparently, they preferred epic, which is fun.
Okay.
My name's on there. That's all. Like my name's in Marvel and something Marvel, and so that makes me happy.
That's amazing. So did they pull it from a sentence where you said something was epic?
I think I said that it's like epic action or epic action scenes or something like that, epic battles. I'd have to go back and read it. I wrote it so long ago. But I'm sure it was in a full sentence. I don't think I just put epic period in my review.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The scenes were huge. Everything was big. And all around the world. I really loved the scenery. I mean, Marvel knows how to like set. They know how to set a movie. They do.
I know. And even that like final scene, which is like a little over CGI'd, I think. But the falling and that was cool still. Like you see them, Taskmaster and Natasha literally fighting in the air. Like it's crazy. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how many stunt people had to do that.
I know.
That last part. Because you know it had to be more than one.
Oh yeah, because Taskmaster's pulling out all these tricks, like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. So I'm wondering. But anyway, I really loved the family part of it.
Focus on the family.
Focus on the family, yes. I really wanted more of the family. I really did.
I know.
I loved, I told you my favorite scene was when Alexi and Yelena were in the bedroom, and she's like, anyone talk to you, and and he starts singing her song, and she's like crying. She doesn't want to sing.
I know. It's such a kid thing too. Like, even though she's an adult, then she's like, I'm still mad at you, Dad. Like, you can't make me not be mad at you by being sweet. That's how my girls are. Like, they have to try really hard to like still be mad.
Right. It's adorable. And then my other part that I loved that I kept hinting at last week is the fact that Melina named her pig.
Named the pig. I knew that's what you were talking about.
I'm like, this says a lot about their relationship because she loves her pigs.
I know. He's like, she's like, don't you see the resemblance? I was like,
and you kind of do. You kind of do. And he's thinking, how in the world did you name me after a pig? But then when you see how much she loves her pigs, even when she was about to die, she was she was asking about her pigs. So I'm like, this seems like an insult. but it tells you how quirky this woman is. It tells you how she's wired.
And she missed him because he was in jail. She probably thought he was supposed to be in jail for life, so she didn't think she was ever going to see him again. Probably. Yeah. So she named her pig after him so she could have him close by. I get it. It's a sweet thing, even though it feels like it's a dig.
It's funny. It's funny as all get out. And then the whole. Yeah, and you could tell that they really were getting back into that old feeling because the girls had to be like, no, not here. You're not
they're like,
doing that.
no, stop. He's like, I have a lot of energy. She's like, and then that's like, no, ew, gross. No, please don't.
That's amazing. I do have to say, I did like the part where Melina and Natasha were having these conversations about how she cycled through the Red Room 4 times and how this is all she knows, and how she doesn't know any different. She doesn't know how to get out. To me, that was like a kind of a harkening back to like this generational trauma thing, where, you've got the mom is like, she's stuck. This is all she knows, but she tried her best to teach her daughter different. And maybe their relationship is not good, but the daughter is different. I mean, like, Natasha did break free. Yeah. She broke the cycle.
Well, she even said to her, didn't she say, like, how did you keep your heart? Like that was like I'm proud of you. Even though
Mom
she said it.
Asking daughter.
Like, yes, exactly. She's very much like, wow, like you went through all this same stuff I did and you stayed a good person, through most of it. I mean, you tried to kill a little child, but sure, we'll move past that. That felt like a not Nat thing to do. That was very like, really?
Moves right past the part where you try to kill a kid. Okay. But yeah, I really, and that was another thing too. I thought this would be a great, they needed more of this little part where it shows how mother and daughter are getting through this whole, breaking these generational trauma cycles, So, even though I know, because somebody's going to say it, they're not really mother and daughter, but they have the bond.
Well, I mean, if you look at Yelena even said, you're the only mother I knew, and Nat's mom was killed, Dreykov killed her. So it's the only mother she really knew, or the only mother figure she really had. I mean, obviously the Red Room wasn't a very good, motherly figure.
I mean, yeah, like what is going to be your motherly figure there, Taskmaster?
Not a good one.
Very, very, very loving. Yeah. So I mean, my overall of the film, I think that the action is there for people who really want that Marvel movie experience. I think if you love Black Widow, if you love Marvel, you're gonna this movie gives you everything that you're supposed to get. Yeah. But for me, I love the family, and I wanted more of the family.
I know. Parts. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll do something.
I hope so. I hope they're really good at reading their audience and reading the room, and I'm seeing a lot more people who are saying the same thing. So maybe. So
speaking of maybes,
yes.
Have you talked about Loki yet?
No. I haven't gotten there yet. So
have
yeah.
a question for you. You
Okay.
think, and I know you're not as versed on the comics, so this is more just so do you know a bit about Kang the Conqueror at all, or not really?
I know he's extremely good looking, thanks to my co-host at Muldiversity Odd Geek, Mike, who talks all the time about King the Conqueror and how good looking he is.
I'm just wondering because they've hinted a lot at Kang coming in this finale of Loki.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very nervous to get excited, like, reminiscent of like, oh, Mephisto's going to show up in WandaVision. Like, I'm too afraid to like, but they've hinted at him so, like, Renslayer has a connection to Kang. Okay, so there's that. The smoke thing, Goliath has a connection to Kang. Okay, so like, and Kang controls time. Like, it makes sense.
There's a Sphinx in the Loki world, where all the Lokis were, the Sphinx and everything. I heard that was a Kang.
That's like, there's like so many connections, and we know Kang is coming in Ant-Man, the new Ant-Man. So that's what makes me think if we get anything, it's going to be very little, right? Like not even probably a full reveal, because I imagine they would save that for a movie. So that's, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it all out.
Do you think it's going to be like a 2 seconds at the end type of thing?
Mm-hmm, like a over the shoulder, or like he's blurry in the background, or even his voice. Because here's the thing, he's already cast. So, and this movie hasn't even started filming yet, the Ant-Man movie. So why would they announce his casting already? That makes me feel like he's got to be in this, right? Like, it's reminiscent of, remember that Thanos after credit or end credit scene where he's like, fine, I'll do it myself. Something along those lines.
I think it'll be in credit. It may be okay. So after we watch Loki tomorrow, stick around for the credits and hope, fingers crossed.
I know and then like, are we gonna get because remember they like confirmed Loki season 2, but then they like backtracked and were like, we never said we confirmed Loki season 2, and everyone's like, yeah, you did. So
yeah, see, I thought maybe I misread something.
Yeah,
but okay, they did.
Yeah,
okay,
they did, and then they like, no, we didn't, and people are like, whoa. Because what happened was when they announced that Kevin Feige was doing the Star Wars movie, you know how he's like doing a Star Wars movie? Mm-hmm. He said, or someone reported, that he chose the writer for Loki season 1 and 2 as writer. Mm-hmm. And people were like, season 2? Hold the phone here. We haven't even gotten season 1 yet.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, are they going to leave us on like a massive cliffhanger? And then the Ant-Man Quantumanium is gonna lead into Loki season 2. I don't know.
Someone in the comments brought up something that I've been thinking, that
Loki villain is gonna be Loki himself. I think so too.
Mm-hmm. Like the OG original, where all the variants come from Loki.
They can stick Kang in here somewhere though. Some kind, because why would you cast this person this far out and announce the cast?
Just to mess with everybody.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean, why did they put Evan Peters in as Pietro? Exactly, just to mess
with everybody. Yeah, there was like no reason for him to be there in WandaVision at all, because he didn't really add much.
But now apparently a lot of his stuff in the finale got cut. The finale got very rewritten because of COVID. He was supposed to be with the boys, helping to find the book and stuff and all this stuff in the end, and they just had to cut it out. Like, that's why even Kat Dennings, you know how she was like not really in it. She's just like, have fun in jail, and then she like disappears. She was supposed to be a part of that, and then when they say like, she said something about debriefs are for the week. That was their way of just, it worked with her character, but she was supposed to be more in it. So COVID really, they still had like almost the entire finale to film, and they had to rethink stuff.
Okay.
But there was still no reason for it to be Evan Peters other than to mess with us, so.
Yeah. I think that's the only reason why they did that. I don't know. This would be a real opportunity for Marvel to like really give one back to the fans who've like really suffered and waited and struggled and everything.
I mean, just this much Kang, right?
Yeah.
Just a
an end credit something where he's like maybe looking at a crystal. I don't know where he
Right.
looking over everything. And,
right, a very
commenting.
Yes, it almost exactly like the Thanos fine, I'll do it myself, and he gets the gauntlet. Like very similar to that, and I'll be happy, and everyone will be happy, I think. But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What else do you
want to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to tell everybody to go look at some of the videos about the Easter eggs coming out about the Loki episode.
Oh, I know. There's so many.
It's so many. And I'm finding, like, every time I look at somebody else's, hey, I found some Easter eggs. There's, like, new stuff. And so it's great.
I was going to do a video, and I was like, I don't have time for this week. It was ridiculous. There's so many.
There's so much.
And you know how long I would have to go shot for shot. And I was like, this week is crazy. I don't have time. But I almost did. And then I was like, other people got it covered. I just don't have the time.
Yeah, there's so many people with it covered. I don't think you have to. I mean, maybe the finale, but even then, maybe not.
I might do an overall like season, but that just takes so much time.
It will,
and like my kids are home and it's summer and they're going to camps and
yeah, you've got that mommy taxi thing going. That cuts into a lot of time. Okay, so we've got like 9 minutes.
Okay, you want to talk about the What If trailer? Yes.
What If?
We're on the same page. I'm excited for the Marvel Zombies. Now, here's the thing. Marvel Zombies are different than What If, but they're merging them, which I'm very intrigued about.
Okay, are they like the DC Deceased?
I don't know what the DC Deceased is, but probably. So it's like a whole different timelines, basically, where there are zombies. And there's like 5 books, 5 like total runs of all different stuff that happens. And they're zombies. And they're Marvel zombies. And so that's why they're cool. It's Marvel and it's zombies. What's the DC Deceased? Is that similar?
The DC, well, it's like a virus that, that kind of infects all the heroes and everybody. So all the Marvel heroes are going to be infected and becoming zombies, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All the major ones.
Yeah, and then they like kill each other and they fight. Yeah. So it's like,
That's about the same. Okay. So you have like role swapping in What If?
Yeah, so What If is basically What If and they change something, right? So like what if Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers? So then you have Captain Carter. And I'm excited for her. But then there's also what if Yondu took T'Challa instead of Peter Quill? That's why you see him with Yondu and you see him as Star-Lord, basically Black Panther as Star-Lord. Well, not even Black Panther, T'Challa, I should say, is Star-Lord, which is super cool. And I don't know that they're taking it because the what ifs, there's so many. And there's so many random ones like, what if Aunt May died instead of Uncle Ben? And what if Peter never got bit by the spider? And what if this and that? And blah, 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 blah. Like tons of different ones. So I'm not sure how many of these are going to be actually comic book ones. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm wondering if they're just, I think they're doing it to the MCU. So not going comic wise, they're like, oh, this happened in the MCU, so instead we're going to do this so that it still ties in to the MCU. Then you have the Watcher who watches everything. I don't know if there's something similar in DC.
Yeah,
but the watch and they never interfere.
Yeah,
unless it's like
Monitor, I think. Yeah, but so, yes. Yeah,
so the Watchers are part of this. So I'm curious if they're all going to tie into each other, if they're going to be standalone episodes, if it's going to be. I don't know, because the comics are standalone, right? Like, what if this happened? That's one book, the end, right? Like, this is what if we tell the whole story in one book. And then there's another what if, but it's a completely different what if, completely different change.
Yeah.
Knowing what he does, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a cohesive season. Like, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Because, okay, so that's what I was wondering. And there's this talk, this narration said something about multiverses.
I know.
So
that's why I'm wondering if it's going to tie into everything and not be standalone stuff. Because Kevin, again, likes to mess with us.
Right. I'm looking to see what hints I can get from their IMDb. So it looks like 11 episodes.
Yeah, and some people came back to voice, some didn't. Like Robert Downey Jr. is not back. I mean, you think it's all about the price tag, right? So like probably I'm sure he was too expensive to come back and voice Tony. I don't think Bree is back.
Okay. Is he being is Tony being voiced by Jack Black?
I don't know. Maybe. I just know it
sounded just like Jack Black. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it, but I feel like he could do that voice. I feel like he could pull that off. But yeah, I just thought it was weird that some people came back. But the fact that Chadwick, when I heard his voice, because you never know with these, it's people that are very talented and can mimic other voices that get these jobs, obviously. Oh, yeah. So at first I was like, is it him? And then as he kept talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's gotta be Chadwick. And like, it kind of broke my heart a little bit. This is the last, just after he's gone, to hear him in that role, even, it's kind of like, oh, my heart. I know. I'm looking to see if I can see, because they have the cast list out already. Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can he's not. Oh man, it's Chadwick.
It is, huh? Yeah, I thought so.
It's him.
So he recorded it before.
Yeah, before he passed. Oh my goodness, this is gonna make me cry.
I know. Because I was like, if it's not him, the person doing the voice is amazing. You know what I mean? But again, they are usually. That's why they get hired. They're good at their job. So
yeah, it's him. Anyway.
So I'll wait till you watch it. It's gonna be.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's gonna be like
that was such a. I don't want to talk about it because I'll cry. But like, I was at Disney World when they announced it, and so then like the next day, all these kids were wearing like Black Panther costumes and stuff, and I was like, I can't do this. This is horrible. I'm gonna cry. I'm tearing up right now. Okay. Anyway, so zombies. Let's get on a topic that's not gonna make me cry.
It looks like okay. So I'm looking at the episodes, and it looks like. There's a different story per episode. Okay, that's from looking at the thumbnails and there's like one or two of them with a description. Okay. So like the first one is going to be Peggy.
That makes total sense that it would be her first. Yeah.
So it's gonna be Peggy, and then like the zombies is like way down there.
Yeah, because it's. See, I wouldn't be surprised if everything's connected, because the Watchers. I feel like they're going to be in every episode, like overlooking, because that's what they do. So I feel like they'll be somewhat connected.
Yeah. So Jeffrey Wright is one of the Watchers. He's good. He's in 10 episodes. Yeah, he's going to be in every episode.
There you go. See, that would make sense that the Watcher is the one that makes it a cohesive season. Although they still could all be standalone stories. It could be like the Watcher watching this timeline and this timeline and this timeline. And then this is introducing the multiverse. Oh my goodness gracious. This is going to be crazy. I'm excited though, because, and then Doctor Strange is in it.
Looks like Dominic Cooper is going to be Howard Stark.
He was Howard Stark in what was he Howard Stark in? The first time? No. What was he Howard Stark? He was Howard Stark in something. Anyways. Because I love him. Was he? Captain Marvel, right? That's what it is. Because I'm like, what would he have been Howard Stark in? It would have been Captain
America.
Oh, okay.
The first.
There you go. One, I'm like, it was
the first Avenger.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. Yeah. I'm like, it was something way back when, and what was way back when? But obviously, yes. Because then I was like, that's weird that it wasn't him in Infinity War when they went back. I was surprised that it. But yes, okay. All right. Yeah. I do love him.
I do. I loved him. Preacher.
I know.
I love.
We could have a whole thing on Preacher.
Preacher comics. I love the comics. I love the show. The way they did the show.
Cassidy. I love Cassidy so much.
I know.
I have a Cassidy pop back there somewhere. I love Cassidy.
So I mean, is this cheating? Looking up because I'm like in IMDb looking up.
They'll take stuff out of IMDb, and you never know if it's true or not. Like anyone can edit IMDb if you have an IMDb Pro account.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Wikipedia. So like, and that doesn't mean it's not
a grain
true.
Of salt. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And also if Marvel sees stuff, like I will tell you, after having seen the screener for it, I looked just to see, and they had Olga credited as Taskmaster before Black Widow came out, and then it disappeared because I think Marvel was like, get that out of there. Like, it's a spoiler, you know? So some stuff could be true, but they're trying to mask it so it might disappear.
Oh yeah, there's a lot that's not on here. Like the cast list is really short for 11 episodes. Natalie Portman is Jane Foster, and Chris Hemsworth is Thor.
That's good. I'm glad they're coming back as their roles. Well, obviously, I'm sure they were because they're going to be promoting Love and Thunder. You know.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Michael Douglas is Ant-Man.
Yeah, he is Ant-Man, the older Ant-Man, not the
Ant-Man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So is it going to be? See, I'm interested now. Is they going to even have? I can't wait to see this. I just love that there's infinite possibilities and they can do whatever they want with it because it's animation. So they can pretty much do the wackiest, craziest stuff that without as big a budget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They can just pretty much throw all the comics into a soup and just start stirring.
Yeah. It's gonna be good.
So yeah, this is going to be good. It's going to be good. Well, I think we're at the end of our time here.
Yeah. And we have a guest next week, don't we? Is it next week? Jimmy and Amanda, I think, right?
Yes. Okay, so join us next week for we have guests. We will have Jimmy Palmiotti, who's a writer for comics. He helped create Luke Fox, Batwing, and several others. I mean, he and Amanda Connor, she'll be here as well. Artist. They resurrected Red Sonja. And the comics, and Amanda is going to talk to us all about Harley Quinn. I love Amanda's Harley. I love Amanda's Harley. So I will have all the questions. I hope Jimmy isn't like
he's gonna be like, hello, I'm
jealous
here too.
We'll try. I'll have questions for him. I'll try. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Everyone, come bring your questions.
Bring your questions, exactly.
Yes. It'll be great.
And we'll talk a little bit the Suicide Squad. We'll give our ideas on what we think is going to happen. I mean, Harley's in it. They can't kill Harley, right? I feel like that's what we're going to talk about a little.
I mean, they can't. I mean,
I don't know because I saw Margot Robbie said she doesn't know when she's going to play Harley again. But like, is that just her saying that?
I think that's just her saying that.
I don't know.
I think it's just
but I'm like, James Gunn, I wouldn't be surprised if he would. I don't know. Yeah. I'd be so upset if they kill it. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll do our speculations and all that and see what all they know. I mean, now I think according to, and it seems like Jimmy and Amanda, they know nothing,
right?
So they may engage in some speculation with us, hopefully,
which would be fun.
That would be so fun. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Bring your questions and everything, and we'll chat, and we'll also talk about the last Loki.
Yes, we'll talk about that either with them or maybe they'll bow out and we'll talk about it after. Unless I don't know if they're watching it, so
I don't know. We'll see. I
know because Loki's gonna be. We'll talk about Kang showing up. Please, we'll talk about that. I hope he shows up.
Or lack of, yeah.
Or lack of, right? Yeah. Either way, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So, that's it for today. Thanks for sitting with me during the first half hour.
Yeah, thank you for handling that. I was like, of course, this interview, but I'm not going to say no to interviewing Taskmaster. So
no, and I didn't want you to. I was like, no, go.
Yeah, you're like, no, go. I got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry about me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for next week.
Yeah, I know. This is going to be so much fun. So yeah, that's it for us. I'm Jonita Davis. You can find me all over social media, Jonita L. Davis, and look up my stuff on Black Cape, the Black Cape and Black Cape Media on YouTube.
And I'm Tessa Smith, and I'm at Mama's Geeky everywhere. Mama's Geeky, mamasgeeky.com, Mama's Geeky on YouTube, Mama's Geeky on Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. And stay tuned for that interview with Olga. I think they said I'll get the footage within 24 hours. So I imagine I'll have it up sometime tomorrow.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, watch. And then I put in the chat the link to the interview with Violet that I've aired earlier. I had some technical difficulties. I told them you're usually the person behind the curtain. So anyway, so I put the link in there so they can see it. So yeah.
Perfect.
So until next week.
Yeah.
Bye everybody.